Good evening, one and all. Welcome along. It is season 5, episode number 60. And you are not being absolutely delusional, folks. Yes, it's me here on a Thursday night. Mike has been sick as a dog all day. You don't want to know what the pictures we've been getting in our group chat have been like. So I'm joining in. And as always, Joe, great to have you along. So how are we both doing, gentlemen?
Yeah, really well. Thanks. Yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I can't believe it's 2 weeks to draft night.
Tell me about it. It's fast approaching it. Like I say, we'll be getting ourselves, all of the fans over this side, we'll be getting ourselves ready with, I don't know, beer, coffee, wine, whatever your tipple is, with loads of snacks to keep us up. It's going to be a long night, especially picking up 24. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. It's going to be, like, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, this draft it's kind of snuck up on me. I haven't been as prepared as I have been in prior years for this draft. And like when I was doing the show with Mike on Tuesday night, we kind of mentioned, oh, it's 2 weeks away. And I was like, oh, crap, I thought I had another week. And it's like, jeepers. It'll be here in no time.
It's because of how low we're picking. Like, usually, I'm like I was saying to you before, like it's my favourite kind of weekend on the NFL calendar, like even more than the Super Bowl, but because we're so far down the draft there, we're at the mercy of everybody else. So it's like, when you kind of look at doing mocks, it's like, oh, that's really probably not happening because these are the few teams that trade up, trade down before we even get on the clock. So it's like, let's just see how it pans out on the night.
Yeah. Jamie, come closer to the mic. We're losing some of your infinite words of wisdom.
Oh, no, you don't need those kind of words.
Well, considering you bailed on me again on Tuesday night.
No offense. Leeds United is my first love, and being a season ticket holder, I've got to. It's either sit on here with you guys and listen, have you blasting my head, or going there and then blasting me. It's like the lesser of two evils.
I mean, look at Craig, Thursday night Europa League, and he's foregoing that to be here with us.
It's moving me to tears with how much you're giving to the two of us. So appreciate that.
Anytime.
But what we said we'd try and do tonight, guys, is and as Joe said, 2 weeks away from being all in. Oh, let's not try and go there, Joe, yet. But what we decided to do tonight is try and look at some trade scenarios in terms of our Dallas Cowboys and what they can do. Currently, we have picks 24, 56, 87. Then we're down into the compensatory picks in the end of the 5th round. So we've 174, 216, 233, and 244. So there's a huge big gap in there of nearly 100 picks and then nearly another 40 picks. It is in fact over 40 picks before we get back on the clock. So, I mean, before we get into the bones of it, I mean, what are your own thoughts? Are you looking for the Cowboys to trade down? Do you think they'll just do what they've done for the last couple of years and just kind of stand pat and see where the board comes to them? Or is it kind of a combination of both?
I think there's a temptation to wait and see. And we have been, and we've been lucky with Micah Parsons, with CD Lamb. We've been lucky at what has fallen to us. And we almost buy into this ethos of we build through the draft. So whatever comes to us, we can turn that into gold. I think because this year we don't have the capital, yes, we've probably got a really good write-up on the 4th, 5th, 6th rounds that could come to us, that actually could be starters, a la Dak and so on. But because we've got so many holes and because we've got so little capital, we've got to hit with all three.
Yeah.
So in a off-season where we've just been seen nothing from the front office, whether they move up, which I think is highly unlikely in the first, potentially we could see third up into the second. More likely if we move back, just try and replenish that pool and be able to pick up some more real prospects further down. I just want to see something. I want to see Dallas saying, we know who we've got. We know what we want.
Yeah.
We're going to do it no matter what it is.
Yeah. Jamie, what about yourself? Are you captain trade down, or are you looking for them to stand pat, just see what happens, see what falls to them, and just make good picks?
Stay pat or trade back. Like we just haven't got the capital to move up. And then if you're looking at moving, who are you going to move it? Because if you're going to, you have definitely got enough draft capital to move up for a quarterback. That's what you're going to do. You're going to have to go to the top 4 if you're looking for a new quarterback. But I don't think that's where we're going to go for. If you're looking for another target to go alongside, so probably the top 10, top 12. So I think for what we need, you're probably going to stand pat. I wouldn't be opposed to moving back, but not out of the first round.
Yeah. I think we'd need the king's ransom to go do something like if Carolina absolutely have to have the wide receiver 4, what's it called? Thomas is falling, or they're in love with one. We'd have to get a lot from them, maybe both their 2 picks early in the second to consider moving back. For me, I think in terms of moving back, our goals are offensive line. There's not really any doubt there. And if you push Joe Alt out, who's going in the top 10, there is such a pool of number 12 to number 30 that really you don't need to go up to chase unless they've absolutely fallen in love and know something more than we do. They don't need to go up to chase. There's going to be 3 or 4 prospects at our pick. And there's probably, depending on how desperate there's probably 1 or 2 that we can absolutely make something of around 27 to 30. So I'd be fine with dropping back, picking up a 3rd or early 4th, and still being able to get someone that is a real difference maker.
Yeah. I said, I think not obviously after the Bible, if the Cowboys do decide to go a different direction with people, essentially a rebuild, kind of, or a partial rebuild. So you don't want to give away next year's picks, because unless you absolutely think of the place next year, looking at the early draft classes for next year for Cubans, you have to potentially go up in the draft. So you're going to need the capital for that. But also, sticking with that, you need some younger players to kind of keep that window open. So I'd be, excuse me, this would be the word. If they went up, but like you said, if you don't want to be given something, if they move up 2 or 3 spots to just secure, say, one of the trade back a little bit and take one of the linebackers, or if you might get slated for this. But even if you move back to as far as first and third, the running back that you want in the second third round is going to be there. And like I said, maybe taking a Jonathan Brooks late in the round, just obviously with injury with Texas this year. So you've got that 50-year option. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ryan?
Like, for me, and I've kind of done the sums on this already. We need to get somewhere into that middle ground, into the in around the 120s. We need to try and get our 4th round pick back from last year. Jamie's just dropped off, folks. We're just trying to sort out his audio there, so he should be with us in a second. We need to try and get a 4th round pick back in some way, or a couple of or try and get a couple of 5ths or something like that. So hopefully Jamie is back with us. You're back with us, Jamie?
I think so. We'll see how long this lasts.
That's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think we need to get something in the 4th round at least. Or if you can try and trade back in the 1st round, get a 3rd round pick and try and convert that 3rd round pick into a 4th and a 5th. You know, just kind of ride the board down a little bit. You know, as Jamie was kind of saying, maybe your 2nd round pick, you go back to the top of the 3rd and pick up a 5th and a 6th or something like that. Just get extra picks, because you guys have both said we have holes. We need wide receiver, we need corner, we need offensive line, we need center, we need edges. You know, maybe we even need a tight end or two. You know, like there's not really many areas on this team that you're going, we couldn't do with someone at that position.
Yeah.
Could you maybe look at it the other way in terms of, let's say, maybe dropping back and picking up, maybe converting that 3rd into a 4th? How many holes the team's got? Sure, stars.
Yeah.
I think people are going to slide from the 2nd into the 3rd. So I'd be loath, unless we've already picked up another 3rd, I'd be loath to move out of the 3rd and, you know, be trying to pick up some real development, because we have a record of doing development into starters, but I don't think we've got time for. I think if the Eagles are trying to recover from their shocking end to the season, if the Giants and the Commanders have the capital to be loading up on things, they're going for starters. We kind of need first, second, third round starters, and not just starters and hope, but, you know, this is starters and they're the future.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you're alluding very well there, Craig, in terms of what you're saying, is that, you know, we actually need our draft class this year to actually come in and boost what's there. Because if you look at our draft class last year, Matthew Smith didn't really contribute. Schoonmaker didn't contribute. Overshown got injured. Fahoko didn't really do anything. Richards didn't do anything. Scott, you gave up your 5th round pick. Didn't dress. Moreno Cropper dropped, and I think Jonathan Brooks, I think, was the other wide receiver they took, and again didn't really contribute. You know, so what you need from this draft class is to come in, and like that draft class in 2016 or 2018 with Leighton Van Der Esch, you need them contributing from day one.
Yeah,
you need instant impact. So you need your Zeke, your Jalen, your Dak, your Anthony Brown, your Charles Tapper, every single player to have an impact. Or like in 2018, when you'd Leighton, you'd Connor Williams, you'd Dalton Schultz, all of those guys came in and made an impact in their first season. And that's what we need from this draft class.
So we need a whole draft class full of Brandon Aubrey caliber people. Just knocking out the park straight out.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into this, because I've just seen the comment in from Joe, and Joe has absolutely read my mind in terms of what way I was going to go. So the first trade down option I have for you guys is the Buffalo Bills approach us at 24, right? Now, the Buffalo Bills right now have a starting wide receiver room where Khalil Shakir is their number one wide receiver. They need receivers, and they need receivers bad. So Joe has suggested that we trade back with Buffalo take their first round pick and also pick up their fourth round pick, which to me, when I look at Jimmy Johnson's trade chart, is very light. So what I would propose in this scenario, and what I had thought out, was to take their third round pick. So what that's giving us is we've 740 points with pick 24. If you pick up their first round pick, which is 620, and their third round pick, that gives you 748.
They don't have a third round pick.
They don't have a third round pick. Okay.
No.
So that rules that out.
They've got a pair of fourths.
Right. So let's take those two fourth round picks that they have. So that's probably going to give you a bit more. And add to that, they're going to have to give you something else. They're going to have to give you a sixth round pick. So if the Buffalo Bills approach us and go, right, we'll give you a first rounder, 2 fourth rounders, and a sixth rounder, would that be a trade you guys would consider?
Jamie?
It depends on who you're looking at yourselves. I know that sounds really stupid, but it depends on if you're going to put players on the board and say this is who available.
Yeah. I mean, Bills we know are going wide receiver. Cardinals probably aren't picking up their offensive line, or they would have done it with one of their with an earlier pick. Maybe if they're desperate, they would have gone alt. Packers, they're definitely going secondary, so not a concern for us. This shows how much time I spend on mock draft simulators. And then it's there. So yeah, if JPJ's off the board, if Guyton's gone and the other tackles are gone, if sort of we're just looking at one, then yeah, we have to snap there. We can't really be trying to pick up someone in the 30s ranked with the now 28th picked. If there are 2 or 3 left, then yeah, I'd roll the dice. I'd say absolutely. We recognize that you need a wide receiver now. We recognize that you can't wait for Baltimore or 49ers or Chiefs to jump up and take Thomas or Polk or Legat or someone like that kind of tier. I would absolutely hold their feet to the fire and say, yeah, I want those 2 4s. I want to replenish our mid round, and then we can get a 28, generally the same caliber that we can get at 24.
Yeah. So I just have a mock draft running in the background right now, okay? So what I have in that mock draft is the top 5 or 6 players available to us are Laiatu Latu, Cooper DeJean, Graham Barton, Jackson Powers Johnson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Michael Penix Jr. And Tyler Guyton.
Is this at 24 or 28?
24. At 24.
I think in that situation, I would drop back. I think if I prefer Barton, but if JPJ is still there, great. If both of them somehow manage to go in those few picks, it's not a complete write-off, because Cooper's Gene could be very good. I wouldn't, not sure about Latu. Maybe a stretch Guyton. I don't know.
For me, I think right now, if that was the draft board, I would be handing in the card for Latu.
Yeah,
I think Latu is the best edge in this class, and I would walk over broken glass and hand in that card right now, even over Graham Barton and Jackson Powers Johnson.
It's the injury concern for me still.
Yeah, why has he dropped past the Rams and stuff? Yeah,
the Cowboys are very. I know they're Steve played injured. 24. Yeah, I would probably I'm carrying the barn. If you're talking the trade scenario and go back to get to first and get 28, I would be opposed to okay.
Right.
And then addressing the overall thing for the second.
So, do you guys want to trade that pick?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to accept this pick. All right.
Yeah.
So we're moving down. We're moving down.
Oh, this is tense.
Okay. So what's happened is we've moved down. We still have Latu, Barton, Powers Johnson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Michael Penix Jr. on the board. And Carolina have come up to offer us pick 33 and their future a 2025 third round pick.
Well, is this for 24?
For 24, yeah. No, for 28.
No, I'm not taking it. I'm not giving up that pick round.
Yeah, no, we risked it with we risked it. It's lucked out. I'd take Barton here, and we've got a couple of fourths to supplant it. I think someone like 49ers would take JPJ or Barton, so probably too much for a risk.
Yeah. So you're both happy to take Graham Barton, or do you want to discuss Barton and JPJ here?
If JPJ's at 28, I think I'd take him. I like Barton, but you've got an out centre, best centre in the draft.
Yeah.
Pretty much call it the second round.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the medical things with JPJ. I'd be.
That's a concern for me. That's why I lean towards Barton in this scenario.
And I think he's number one center. You're right, Jamie. But I think Barton is number 2 center and number 2 guard. And I'd rather have that versatility at this point than gamble with JPJ. Brian, you still taking Latu?
If it's me, I'm crawling over the broken glass right now. I'm rolling round in that broken glass. That is how much I would take Latu.
As long as he's not rolling around in the broken glass.
Well, no, we definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think there's some and I mean, we're not even talking about Cooper at 28 or I mean, put Penix to one side. But who was the other one you said?
So Latu, Barton, Powers Johnson, McKinstry, Penix, and Adonai Mitchell.
I mean, Mitchell and Kool-Aid, they're all, and we get an absolute steal at 28 with any of those. So I'd be happy with any of them. Just Barton a little more happy.
Jamie, what about you?
Yeah, like I say, JPJ's there at 28. I think you're getting excellent value. Barton, I like him. I said the versatility there. As I mentioned, if I Kool-Aid McKinstry, you're getting defensive backs in that low. I don't think you could go even 40, could you, to be fair?
Make a call. Make a call. Who are you picking?
JPJ.
JPJ. Oh, you're putting this on me, you know.
You've got the button.
I've got the button.
So when you're saying you've got the button, though, do we do it? So we go and JPJ just for the fact.
Yeah. For me, on a choice between JPJ and Barton, I would take Barton. That would be my call on it, because it's just too much of an unknown with what's going on with JPJ right now, with the injuries, with the concerns with them. And for me, the fact that we all saw the beast yesterday from Dane Brugler. Dane Brugler had Graham Barton as his number one center. Like, Dane doesn't get it wrong.
See, that was the only kind of knock on Barton, and I'm probably going to sound like I'm going to contradict myself here. Just more, I saw more in the yard, and that's why I was thinking, we talked about it before.
Yeah.
The last time was on. I'd rather, after what happened, in terms of elsewhere on the line, then I'd rather like an out and out set and keep Tyler Smith at guard. But if you're saying as a pure out and out centre, that would be the pick. But depending on how you want to place him in with the guard.
Yeah.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah. Like, for me, and I'm going to push the button on this, we're going to take Barton, because it's just the injury concerns worry me with Powers Johnson, and the fact that even Dane has picked him as his number one center over Jackson Powers Johnson. It just sits better with me to take him. And yeah, I agree with you, Jamie, in terms of, you know, is Barton a jack of all trades and a master of none? I'd refer back to Dane and say, look, Dane has said he's the best center. Go with that.
Yeah, like I say, if you're going to place him for this mock as a center, then yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're rolling through this mock draft anyway. Oh, hold on. I've got to restart this because I only set it as a 1 round.
You better get him.
All that again, and he's going to be taken probably in the top 10 on us now. So we'll just let it roll. He's still there. But I mean, if the Chiefs or the 49ers approached you with an offer to come up, and the 49ers turned around and offered you the first, the third, and the 4th round pick, that 4th round pick which we gave them, how intriguing would that be for you guys?
I'd want to know.
What?
I'd want to know. I wouldn't really go yes straight away, because, like you say, if they're coming up and
yeah,
I would. And it's just, I know, like you said, just for the fact they say they generally showed information. I think that's why the Cowboys the other year were happy to trade back for Mike Parsons, only because it was with the Eagles on it, and Eagles were Mike Parsons.
Yeah.
If they're willing to share that information, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah.
Yeah, in that situation where we were talking about where those 5 or 6 people on the board still and the 49ers were coming up, it's more difficult because we're more likely to see the 49ers this year in the postseason than we are the Bills, sadly. So there's the conference sting. But I probably would take it for a 3rd and a 4th rather than, what did we say, a 1st and 2 4ths. I probably would take it. And then just roll the dice, because I don't think that they would take Barton or JPJ. I think they'd be coming up for probably cornerback help in that situation. Maybe Adonai Mitchell to try and take them off the Bills. So it's not really taking from us. So I probably would jump at that too.
Yeah. So I've managed to get that, right? So we're in the second round, okay? And we've 2 trade offers. So the Kansas City Chiefs have approached us. They want to flip second rounders to make that trade. They're giving us a third rounder, and they're asking us for our compensatory 6th round pick. So you're going to end up with a second, 2 thirds, and then you've a pick in the 5th round and 2 more picks in the 7th round.
So what are they giving us,
Sorry?
What are they giving?
So they're giving us pick 64 and pick 95.
Do we also have the 2 4ths from the Bills?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really starting to look healthy.
What were theirs again in the second? Say 64.
Yeah.
Yeah. So theirs is the last pick in the second.
We're 58, aren't we?
We're 56.
56, sorry.
So we're going back 8 spots. Okay. Can
I ask that who's on the board?
Of course, you want to know who's on the board.
So and specifically, is one of 2 linebackers not there?
So what I can see is Michael Penix Jr., Leonard Taylor, Jalen Polk, Michael Hull Jr., Braylon Trice, Benson Knott, and Chris Jenkins are the top 7 players available.
Can I ask specifically, you meant wide receivers, who's still on the board? Because if it's Corley or Legat, I'd be interested.
No, they're gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scroll a bit further down, Brian. Are the 2 linebackers still?
Sorry, so Malachi Corley, Peyton Wilson, Jonathan Brooks, and Cedric Gray are the next 4 available after that.
So you've got the linebacker. I'm guessing
Edgerrin Cooper is gone.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting because that linebacker's not going to be there 8 picks away.
No. Linebacker's my round 2. Linebacker or wide receiver is my round 2 targets.
Yeah. Jonathan Brooks is still there, Jamie.
Yeah, he's tempting, but there's also 2 or 3, maybe 4 good running backs that you could pick up. Tempting, but personally, I know it's dire running back, and I just think linebackers probably more.
Yeah. So you've Peyton Wilson, Cedric Gray, Junior Colson, and Trevin Wallace are all still there. Jeremiah Trotter is still there as well.
So
you have options.
I would gamble there. I would gamble with a drop back. I think there's enough depth. I'm not as convinced with Wilson. Again, medical things. So Trotter, Cooper, not Trotter. Cooper or Trotter are the 2 that I've got my eye on.
You've everyone bar Cooper available in the linebackers.
Say again?
You've every linebacker bar Edgerrin Cooper available.
Yeah. I would, because you said this is to drop back the 2nd and we pick up the Chiefs 3rd.
Yeah.
I would gamble.
Jamie, what do you think?
It's tempting to get those picks, but then can I throw another scenario at it?
Of course.
just because I don't want to miss. I would take it, but then I would look at trading back up, get the linebacker.
Okay. So if
And
we
if,
take,
and if he's not there, then I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, why don't we offer the Chiefs something like the 2/4 and try and get the Bills 2/4 and try and get their last second, and then that gives us the chance to get the linebacker and someone.
But that's that. So you want to offer the Bills, or you want to offer the Chiefs our two fourth round picks?
No, like you were saying, they were going to come up and take. So we take their trade,
Yeah.
but then we come back up a couple of spots.
Okay.
Okay.
So right, I get you. So
Right,
we
I get
accept
it.
this trade and just let it roll 1 or 2 spots and just see what happens.
Yeah.
Give it 2 small picks to see what's there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're accepting that pick. Okay. So Peyton Wilson went at pick 59.
Hmm.
And we
Jonathan Brooks went at 58.
Yeah.
So the lid, yeah.
Corley still there?
Corley is still there.
Corley.
Cedric Gray is still there. Braden Fisk. So the players you lost were Jalen Polk, Brandon Dorless, Jonathan Brooks, and Peyton Wilson.
Two.
What do you think, Jamie?
So I'm paused at pick 60. It's the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. Do we want to pick up the phone for any of Michael Penix, Leonard Taylor, Michael Hall, Braylon Trice, Benson Ott, Chris Jenkins, or Malachi Corley? Or do you want to let them?
I'll let Craig choose on the
Damn, I tried to hospital pass you, but it ended up rebounding. I reckon we let it go. I reckon see what we get at 64.
Okay.
And we've still got the thirds and the fourths to pad out the whole roster.
Yeah. So letting it roll. So guys, this is now upsetting me a little bit, right? So we've got to 64. The best available players on the board are Michael Penix Jr. And I am contemplating turning in that card.
I was just thinking that's very interesting because I've seen Michael Penix Jr. as high as
the Raiders.
the Broncos. Even I think I've seen the Giants have taken him once. So that's 6. And if we get a 64, as much as I feel bad because I'm wearing a Prescott shirt, that's very tempting.
So we're at pick 64. The best available: Michael Penix Jr., Michael Hall Jr., Chris Jenkins, Malachi Corley, Braden Fisk, Bo Braid, Roman Wilson is still available. That's an interesting one as well.
And running backs? Who have we got running backs?
Running backs available. You have Will Shipley, Blake Corum, Braylon Allen, Bucky Irving, Audric Estime, Dylan Lowe, Jalen Wright, Ray Davis. You've all the running backs realistically.
Yeah,
I'd be tempted to take just because then my next running back after that is.
Who was that you tempted to take?
Take the Michigan here. Only because on my board, the next one after I've got is the kid from Tennessee.
So you want to take Blake Corum here?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I usually take Blake Corum in sort of the third, our usual third round one. So yeah. I would take Michael Penix Jr. I would, as much as I am a Dak fan, I can't skip that value. I don't think his value is going to drop like, Trey Lance, and then we're shipping him off for a fourth in a few years. But Dak is in his 30s. He has had a major accident with several surgeries. Mm-hmm. It is a league when we saw so many talents go down, and we could probably then move Lance out for a fourth or a fifth. So get some value for him next year.
Yeah.
I'd take Penix, and then have a whole off season of why did Dallas do that?
Jamie, can we get you on the Michael Penix train at all?
No.
So you want to take Blake Corum here?
Out of the two, yeah. I'm not sold.
Okay.
Even yeah, I would.
Okay.
I'd rather wait for another QB later on.
Okay. So we've drafted Blake Corum.
Hey, we went with my pick. You two overran me on that one as well. If I was going to look at it.
No, I think that's the right. I think that's the right pick, and Penix is the all-in pick.
I get why you would look at it, like you said, but
yeah,
it's just not my.
So I've let it run to pick 77, and guess who picked up Michael Penix Jr. with pick 74? The Raiders.
They would be dancing around if they didn't pick him up at 12, but they're paying him a fraction of that in the third round.
So do we want to let it ride to pick 87, or do we want to consider a trade?
So we went Barton. What tackles are still available? Because of course that's tackles and linebackers. Because of course that's what we've got as a screaming need.
So the top tackles available are Kiran Amgaji, Blake Fisher, Delmar Glaze, and Matt Goncalves. And Matt Goncalves was a 30 visit.
What's the trade offer? Sorry.
No, I'm saying, do we want to consider making a trade? So I'm paused at pick 78.
I know I'd take. Yeah, that's if we stuck there.
Okay. So do we want to just let it ride?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll let it ride to 87.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are at pick 87.
Mm-hmm.
So we've two trade offers being offered to us. So the first trade is the Jacksonville Jaguars are offering us pick 96 and a 2025 fourth round pick, and we give up 87 and 244, or the Buffalo Bills are offering us pick 144, a 2025 third and a 2025 fourth for pick 87 and pick 216. Neither of those appeal to me.
No, those are punts into next year when really we need
this year.
We need starters now.
Yeah.
Who's available?
Yeah. A big question.
So who is available? We have Cole Bishop, safety out of Utah, Devontae Walker, Javon Bullard, Trevin Wallace, the linebacker out of Kentucky, Chris Abrams-Drain, the cornerback out of Michigan. And then we have two defensive tackles. We've Mason Smith out of LSU and McKinley Jackson out of someplace in Texas.
I like Mason Smith.
Yeah.
But with this approach of we need, defensive tackles like we saw with Marzi, we need a bit more seasoning. So I wouldn't with the approach we're taking. Out of the tackles we talked about, who's still available? And is Jermaine Trotter still available?
Out of the tackles, Blake Fisher is still available. Delmar Glaze, Matt Goncalves, Javon Foster are all available. On the linebackers, Jermaine Trotter is gone. So your best linebackers available are Trevin Wallace, James Williams, Tyron Hopper, Jalen Ford, Trice Knight, and Aaron Casey.
What wide receivers are left?
Yeah.
Your wide receivers, Devontae Walker, Johnny Wilson, Jermaine Burton, Malik Washington, Jamari Thrash, some kid named Rice, Jacob Cowing, Javon Baker, Luke McCaffrey, and Taj Washington.
I'm a coin toss on Walker this year.
For me, it's Fisher. I don't think we can go any further without a tackle. Even if we're planning on moving thingy out, I think we need a tackle. So for me, it'd be Fisher.
So you want to go with Blake Fisher here, the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame?
Yeah, I'd be happy with it.
Okay. So we're drafting Blake Fisher. Okay. So just looking at things from here. So we've picked 95. We picked 128, 133 are available to us. We're only going to do one more trade tonight. So do you want to just let it ride down to 95, or do you want to consider trading back up?
Where are we at now? Sorry, what pick are we at now?
So I've paused at a pick. It is a pick 90.
And when are we next on the clock?
We're up in 5 picks. So this was one of the picks that the Kansas City Chiefs gave us.
I don't know if you are agree, but run it 3 more and see for 2 picks before ours.
Okay. Okay. And we're paused again.
Is the wide receiver still there?
So the wide receivers, you still have Johnny Wilson, Malik Washington, Jamari Thrash, some kid named Rice, Jacob Cowing, and Javon Baker. They're all there.
Nah.
When did Devontae Walker go?
Devontae Walker went right after us. He went to Green Bay.
Yeah, as if they haven't got enough.
Yeah.
So do we want to let it ride down to 95?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we have 2 trade offers. The Bengals are offering us pick 97 and they're pick 214 for 95. And some team from Pennsylvania are offering us pick 120, 161, 171 for pick 95 and 244.
What was the Bengals offer?
It was 97 and 214 for pick 95. So we get an extra 7th round pick to go down 2 spots.
Who's on the board?
Oh, you've swapped roles. So Trevin Wallace is there. Chris Abrams-Drain is there. Mason Smith, McKinley Jackson, Renardo Green, Kalen Bullock, Braylon Allen, Johnny Wilson, and Mike Sanders still there.
Just before what QBs?
QBs. Oh, you're really testing me tonight. So Michael Pratt is still there. Jordan Travis, Joe Milton, Austin Reed, Carter Bradley, Sam Hartman, Devin Leary, Jason Bean, Keaton Slovis.
What round are we in now?
And
The bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third. Jesus.
Yeah.
These trades are I thought we
safety might be a sneaky need for us. So Bullock or I won't say the other way of saying it.
The safeties available are we've Caelan Bullock, Darian Taylor Demerson, Jaden Hicks, Malik Mustafa, Tyke Smith, Katan Aldapo. And so you've a good, you know, if you want to take one of the safeties, you need to take them here, I'd say, before they start moving. For me, the guy who's staring me in the face right now would be Mason Smith or Trevin Wallace, because you still have hole at linebacker, you still have hole at defensive tackle.
Mason Smith for me.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him, but I've heard him end of the second, so this could be a bit of a fall.
Do we want to take the trade from the Bengals and drop back 2 slots, or do we want to consider the other team's offer, where we're getting an extra 4th and 2 extra 5ths? Or are we happy to ride? Because let's not forget, we now have 2 5ths, or sorry, we have 2 4ths. We've 2 4ths, and then we've 2 1-6, 2 3-3, and 2 4-4.
I think we can get some good value out of what we've gained. So I would say pick now.
Pick now. Take Mason Smith.
Bank him.
Okay, Mason Smith is the pick. So we let it ride down. So our next pick is 128. So it's down at 114, 115. Letting it ride. Coming close to our pick. And we're up at 128. So at 128, we've no trade offers. So where do you guys want to go now?
I think Jamie's right. Linebacker, see what value there is.
Linebacker. Okay, so linebackers, the best available linebackers. You've Tyrese Knight, Aaron Casey, Curtis Jacobs, Tommy Eichenberg, Maris Blufu, Edfuan Alfuosho, Omar Spates, Jackson Mitchell. Now, Jackson Mitchell and Omar Spates are 7th round picks according to this. The best available to you are Cade Stover, Mackay Wingo, Jaleeks Hunt, Mason McCormick, Ray Davis, Theo Johnson, and some kid named Rice is still available.
What positions have we taken so far?
We have taken Graham Barton, who's our centre, Blake Corum, who's our running back, and Mason, what's his name? Mason Smith, who's a defensive tackle.
Marzi Smith and Mason Smith. Not that we like making it difficult for ourselves.
We had 2 T Smiths on the offensive line last year. Why not go 2 M Smiths this year?
Didn't catch that.
This is late 4th now, isn't it?
So we've 2 picks here. We've a pick at 128 and pick at 133. And then we don't pick again till 216 at the bottom of the 6th. So for me, I would strongly consider taking Brendan Rice here, because you need a wide receiver. But the other guy who kind of sticks out to me a little bit, and maybe it's a development guy, is Mason McCormick, the offensive guard out of South Dakota State. Because again, maybe I'm pretty sure Mason McCormick is a right guard, and it gives you some assurance behind the greatest right guard in the game, the greatest right guard to ever play the game in Zach Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be potentially happy with that.
Yeah. I think there's a chance to pick up. I think it'd be better to pick up a developmental wide receiver later than, or hopefully in 5 picks, then go for the right guard.
So we'll take Mason McCormick. Okay. So I've let it ride, and Brendan Rice went on us. So again, the top guys on the board: Cade Stover, Mackay Wingo, Jaleeks Hunt, Theo Johnson, Jarian Jones, Jared Wiley, Tyler Davis, Layden Robinson, Bo Limmer, Jacob Cowing. So what way do you guys want to go?
So is it this is now the second pick of our
This is the second 4th round pick that we've picked up.
I'm just gonna throw it out here and just thinking, like I say, because what our next pick's what is it
216,
which is what 6, 7
bottom of
for
the 6th.
I'm just gonna throw it here just for the fact that I've been kind of advocating for. I'm gonna say pick the QB from Tennessee here. I know it's a little early, but that's what I would do because we picked up Dallas. It gives you the option of. I think a lot of people are sleeping on it.
You want to pick up Joe Milton?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Craig?
I know a little less about the further down, so I don't know. I don't know about him, but I like the idea of picking up a 4th here. Bit of an insurance policy. We're not really gambling like we would in the 6th. It's a free. Well, in a sense, it's a free pick because we got it from the Bills. So yeah, I would go QB here just as and then it's either him or Lance is the future QB2
or QB1.
Yeah, potentially could be our next pick.
So you guys want to take Joe Milton here? Okay.
And if he does become QB1, if he can choose the number 4, it means I don't need to get a new shirt. I can just write a new name on the back of this.
All right. Okay, so we are taking Joe Milton. It might be a bit early, but look, I can get behind what you're doing. So we're letting it ride to 216, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've taken a center, a running back, defensive tackle, an offensive guard, a quarterback. We've 3 picks to go. I think we really need to get a linebacker at some point in here.
We need to get a wide receiver as well.
Yeah, that's fair. I've just paused it at pick 166.
Linebacker, wide receiver.
So let's see what wide receivers are available. So you have Taj Washington, Jalen Coker, Jaquan Jackson, Cornelius Johnson, Jordan Whittington. I saw Jamie's ears prick up there with that last name.
No, it was the one before because on my mock today at 216 I picked Jaquan Jackson.
Yeah. And in terms of linebackers, Tommy Eichenberg, Maris Liufu, Edufan Olufoshu, Omar Spates, Jackson Mitchell, Darius Muwasu.
I like the white. What would you do?
Could I tempt you guys to move back up for Tommy Eichenberg?
I was just going to say his name. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember he was talks about last year potentially coming out. Yeah.
So let me see what I can do with the. Let me see if I can propose a trade because the Giants are on the clock. So the Giants have 166. So I'm going to offer them our 216 and our 233. They've rejected it. It was a bit of a jump. I'll see if they'll take all 3 picks.
What about next year's 7?
I'm just seeing if they'll take all 3 picks. No. Like you're looking at a 50 pick drop here, so that's why it might be more difficult to do.
Yeah.
Let me try it again. So if I go 2016, and I'm offering them our next year's 5th. They've taken it.
Yeah. Let's gamble with Eichenberg, see what he can develop into.
Okay. So Tommy Eichenberg, we've taken him. So we've 1 more pick to go. Oh, we've 2 picks. So we've 233 and 244 still to go. So let's ride this out. You have lost next year's 5th round pick, but I think for a guy like Tommy Eichenberg, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
So I think we've all got a pick that we want.
Just the smile on his face there, just telling the whole story.
So we're coming up to our. Oh, we're into the 7th round now, coming up to 233. Oh, do it to me.
Who's the best player available? Because this is the kind of.
Oh, he went right. He went right before. I was trying to look after Mike. I was trying to get him one of them fucking girls that he likes. I was trying to get a girl from that farming college.
So who's the best player available?
So the best player available right now is Logan Lee, the defensive tackle out of Iowa. You've Drake Nugent, Dominique Hampton, Jamari Chromo. Dejon Edwards is here, the running back out of Georgia. And Ryan Watts, the safety out of Texas.
I'd be tempted with DT just to bulk that kind of.
So who are you thinking of?
Tackle.
Well, we've already taken 1 tackle already. You want a double dip on tackle? You want a double dip on defensive tackle?
I'd be happy with that.
Craig, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't recognize the names, but if any of them are just absolute, or is it? I can't remember whichever podcast it is. Just said, let's just get some more beefy on the line. So if any of them are like 7'2" and 7'2" wide, then just click yes.
So I couldn't convince either of you to take another running back here.
Actually,
we extended Dowdle for a year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Is the running back from Marshall still there?
Oh, you always do it to me, Jamie.
I don't think he's going to be there, though.
Jamie?
He's there.
He's there.
Ooh. What's his name?
Rasheen Ali.
I tempted to maybe take him.
Yeah.
No, you
Just to keep that little smile on Jamie's face, I think it's worth it.
Go on. We're going to do it. We're taking Rasheen Ali.
Because he could be a sneaky pick.
I don't think he's going to be there. I'll say that on.
Man, I was like, I like the look of it.
So we're at the last pick, so 244. The best available players are Dejon Edwards, running back out of Georgia, Ryan Watts, safety out of Texas. Now, this is an offensive guard's name, if ever I've heard one. Prince Pines.
All right.
Offensive guard out of Tulane. Is there any position that you guys want to take here or want to look at? Because the next guy whose name is available is Quinton Newsome, cornerback out in Nebraska.
Is there any GMs on there?
What about wide receivers?
Wide receivers.
Are we down to the real sort of wide receiver 17?
Yeah, we're down. We're really down now. Most of the highest ranked wide receiver is an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, BPA at this point.
For me, the guy I would take here would be Quinton Newsome. I'm pretty sure that's Greg Newsome's brother, the cornerback who went to the Cleveland Browns a couple of years ago in the draft. I think looking at what we've done so far, we've taken center, running back, defensive tackle, offensive guard, quarterback, linebacker, and running back. Now, I'm on record as saying that Dan Quinn got an awful lot of pieces across his 3 years in Dallas. It's kind of a time now where you've only given Mike Zimmer 2 pieces to play with. You know, you've given him Eric Kendricks as well. But I would be leaning towards the cornerback here. But I'm happy for you guys to make a decision as well.
And essentially, you've given him over Sean because he's technically a rookie because he sat last year.
Yeah, similar with Marzi. He might actually rule them out again.
And Eric Scott and Junior Fahoko.
I mean, we're getting Trayvon back, which will be brilliant. We've got Bland. We don't know what's happening with Gilmore. And then the quality kind of drops a little bit. So it may be worth kicking the tires on a cornerback.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to take Quinton Newsome, the cornerback out of Nebraska. And we've had a good history with Nebraska players as well. You know, if he can come in and do what Luke Gifford did for us a couple of years ago in terms of being the special teams ace at gunner, you know, I'm happy to take that from my 7th round draft pick at this stage. So it's written out. So our draft class based on what we've done. So we traded down in the first. We got pick 28 and we got pick 128 and 133. And then in the second round, we traded down again and got pick 64 and pick 95 and gave up our second round pick and gave up pick 174. And then in the 5th round, we traded back in. We gave up a 7th round pick and our 2025 5th round pick and got a linebacker. So our full draft class is Graham Barton at center, Blake Corum, running back, Blake Fisher, an offensive tackle, Mason Smith, a defensive tackle, Mason McCormick, an offensive guard, Joe Milton, a quarterback, Tommy Eichenberg, a linebacker, Rasheen Ali, a running back, and Quinton Newsome, a cornerback. Is there anything you guys would be disappointed about if that was the draft class we ended up with?
No, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what you? You know.
Yeah.
It's a good spread of players. Quite a few there are certain starters or near to. I don't think we're gambling on anything too early that couldn't be of use to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think wide receivers probably something to do, but there are enough around on the free agent market sale bin that we can get someone in.
Yeah. Like there will be opportunities to add in free agency. And look, wide receivers can develop later on. You know, so you could pick up an undrafted guy. I think we have John Stevens Jr. who's returning after a year out with injury. I think he's more of a catching tight end rather than a blocking tight end. So he'll be an add to your team. You've Talbot and Brooks who are coming on. I think Moreno Cropper is still on the practice squad or on a futures contract. You know, so you have plenty of bodies there. I would say, yeah, we're probably a little bit disappointed not to pick up a wide receiver in this class, but it's not awful either.
Yeah, and that's down to the fact that we had to make the right moves here because we hadn't made the right moves last month.
Yeah. So that is it, gentlemen. Is there anything else you would like to discuss before we get out of here tonight?
I think if we showed this kind of movement, ambition, risk taking, then I'd be happy. It would be the kind of, like I said at the top, it'd be the kind of activity that shows we're willing to make this a roster that can work. If we see nothing like this and just wait and wait and wait, and then the long wait between third and fifth, then it shows a front office that just doesn't seem to. It isn't all in.
Yeah. Jamie, anything else to add?
No, like I said, I think we have to obviously receive it. We cover a lot of them. About had. I think we've got at least stop by on top of the show. Oh, you lose me again. What the? But yeah, sorry, no. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we didn't really address wide receiver, but I'm sure Cowboys will sneakily do something.
Yeah.
Free agent. Adding a little bit of depth in other places. Sort of at the top of the show that our first three picks probably had to contribute right away. Like we've got good guys that could do.
Yeah.
Happy with that draft. But why should take us to the star? And
yeah, three of us rocking it. I reckon we'll work.
So before we get out of here, which of you gentlemen wants to give the shout out?
Go on, Craig. I did it last time.
Okay. So if you're looking to turn 2024 into your dream trip, then there is no one better to do than with the Cowboys experience. We had a fantastic time in Thanksgiving. We got the game ticket sorted, stadium tour, star tour, meet and greet, upgrade and it is fantastic. Mention UK Cowboys, and they'll throw in 3 prizes, including
Brilliant. So look, we will be back again on Tuesday night. It will be myself and Mike who will be there. Hopefully some of you gentlemen might join us on a Tuesday night. Myself and Mike will talk over the weekend and decide what we're actually going to talk about. We've kind of talked about pet cats. We might go around and maybe do a couple of guys in the upper rounds who people are sleeping on, something like that. But we'll figure it out and we'll let you guys know. But look, it's a good night from me.
Good night from me and the front office in Dallas.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Let's go Cowboys.